Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Four Corners Podcast. I'm Colin.
I'm Zach.
I'm Steven.
Scott.
Today we're going to talk about college football. We're about a couple weeks late, unfortunately, due to some complications with schedules. So I don't care who starts, but since we're 3 weeks in, my season's already over. I'm pretty sure Steven's season's already over.
No, dude, we're not rolling.
So
Talk to me during like March Madness. Talk to me about March Madness. Then we can have a talk about North Carolina.
Yeah,
I know this every year, so it's nothing out of the ordinary for me.
I don't know. Last night was actually a good game. I didn't get into it until about the third quarter. I watched like the very end of the second
we
quarter.
heard him every 10 minutes though.
I know, and I was talking shit to him the entire time because it was fun.
No, but I was playing nice. I didn't say anything about the loss. Like, I just let it go.
Yeah.
You didn't even win.
Yeah, you won.
No, I'm saying about like by us winning. Like I didn't rub it in or.
Well, no, I mean it's one of those deals where it was a good game. It was close until the very end. It just TCU made too many mistakes.
The game we're talking about is Ohio State versus
TCU, yeah, but that would make sense. But
it was big play after big play. Like it was just like we did this. What do you got? And you would do something, and we would have to answer.
But that's how it is with two powerhouses. I mean,
Yeah.
granted, TCU is still in the up and coming as a powerhouse, but Ohio State's been a powerhouse for at least 10, 12 years.
That running back had 184 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Anderson. Yeah.
Anderson.
Yep, he was amazing. He's our big playback.
I know.
Can't get his name right. It's like a Luna or something like that.
He's from Hawaii, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Related to who, man?
I don't know. Yeah, I can't really pronounce his name very well.
Not even going.
Bushmanzada? No.
No.
That's different.
You said it the last time.
Yeah.
No, it's not. No, you're trying to trick me. That's not gonna happen.
But yeah, he played really well. We had a really good game. We just got, I think, a little too overeager, and we started making plays that would have worked on like Georgia Southern or SMU the past couple of weeks. But you're playing against a top 25 team. You can't make those plays, like the shovel pass that made no sense. Like,
was that the one that ended up with a touchdown?
That was the one that they picked off. He shoveled it, yeah. Because it completely.
He basically just picked it off right out of his hand.
Yeah, I mean, it just completely shit. I mean, we were up 21-13. We were cruising. We just needed to kill clock. Get some good runs in. Do some of that stuff, and then we started doing all these stupid ass plays. I mean, the kick return that got called back.
That
probably would have been
that would have changed momentum.
Yeah, I was like, that was a huge play. Unfortunately, it didn't work the way we wanted it to. But I mean, we just made too many foolish plays at terrible time, and it was all on the quarterback. I mean, the quarterback was making piss poor decisions.
Isn't this like his rookie season?
It's the first year he's played. He's been there a couple years because he was competing with Kenny Hill.
Well, that's what I'm
last
saying.
year.
That's what I'm saying though. Like this is technically his freshman year to be playing.
This is the first year he's played.
Would you argue this was TCU's biggest regular season game?
No.
Well, no, we still play Oklahoma.
And West Virginia.
Yeah. I mean, we still got a couple of top 25 teams.
State.
We still got to go through. Kansas State's not bad. Texas is starting to look better.
They lost to Maryland.
They won yesterday, and they beat the shit out of an SEC team, I believe.
That was USC.
Oh, it was USC, so Pac-12 team.
And Wisconsin got upset.
Yeah, Brigham Young. Shout out to
I hate BYU. Just throw it out there. Fuck.
I don't know. Like there was a lot of upsets that actually happened yesterday that a lot of people didn't predict. Obviously, one of them being BYU being upset.
You mean Wisconsin being upset?
Yeah.
Upset. I said BYU upsetting Wisconsin.
Yeah.
And then the other one was, and this team was kind of my sleeper pick over the past like 2 weeks, and it was LSU. LSU
Destroyed Auburn.
Steamrolled Auburn.
Yeah.
What was the score of the Ole Miss Alabama game?
59-7, I think, was the final score.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
that sounds about right.
Yeah, we can't get rid of those pieces of shit no matter what. So.
They've got two chances to lose this season. So.
Yeah. LSU and Auburn.
Well, that's because they don't play any good teams half the season.
And I'm gonna guess the LSU game's not until later in the season.
Yeah, it's like October. It's only in October.
And it's at Baton Rouge, I believe.
And then Auburn, which is always the
last game of the year.
Yeah, it's always a wild card because you never know. Auburn could be. I've seen Auburn just be one of the shittiest schools out there as far as football, and they still manage to sneak up and beat Alabama. So rivalry games are always kind of, could go either way. Yeah, I mean, it's disappointing for me because I was really hoping if we could get through Ohio State that it would be, basically the playoff committee has to look at you now. Like, you beat a top team.
The one thing I think that would have bit you is the absence of Urban Meyer. I could see there being a situation, that being brought in the equation, well, arguably the best coach in college football was not on the sidelines coaching the team.
Saban.
He said
arguably the best.
He didn't say he was the best.
Regardless of that, like, Urban not being there, I could see that being a factor on the committee's mind.
Well, of course, because
that does change. A good coach does change things.
I mean, let's be real. They'll.
I don't think our intern is terrible. I think he's serviceable.
Well, you're done with him now.
Maybe I don't know. The thing with Urban, I don't want to get into it too much, but on this one, but I don't foresee Urban being there another 2 or 3 years.
I mean, you could make an argument he should have been suspended longer.
And that was the stance I took from the beginning, that I don't believe he didn't have any knowledge of the involvement.
Oh, yeah.
And I think a 3-game suspension was nothing.
That's a different argument.
Yeah.
Or a different day.
Yeah.
Like you were saying earlier.
It's good. It would take a long time to get through that
But-
argument.
But you guys lost at home by 12 points, which wasn't bad.
To a top 5 school. I mean, we're not losing to like Cupcake. It's a
It
a
was
national champ.
It was a tough
but
game.
it does play into a factor though. If you would have lost at Ohio State, it wouldn't have been that bad of a loss. But
You'd be surprised. I mean, we lost at home, or we lost at Baylor by a field goal, and still they couldn't fucking throw us in there. So, I'm pretty sure if that had been at TCU instead of Baylor, we'd have probably beat the shit out of them. I mean, look at what happened in the bowl games.
yeah.
I mean, Baylor got destroyed by Michigan State, and we beat an Ole Miss team that beat Alabama. So,
And beat them badly.
yeah. Oh, we gave them a mercy field goal there with like 3 minutes to go because we were kicking the shit. We beat them 41-3. I mean, this is an Ole Miss team that at that point had beaten Alabama, and we didn't belong because Baylor was apparently equal to us, and yet Baylor lost by like 30 to Michigan State, who was not in consideration for the playoffs at all. So,
But for this episode, did you guys want to give like your conference champions picks and then playoff picks and maybe the champion, if you want to go that far?
I mean, we can. I mean, it's one of those things where there are so many different topics that you can actually talk about as far as college football. I mean, if you guys want to do the top 4, we can.
I would like to get into the conferences.
Okay, so since we're getting into the conferences, is Pac-12 really relevant right now?
no.
It's getting to be that way though.
There's still a conference we should cover.
I mean, it's
and
still a
pick
power
our-
five.
Right, but I'm just saying though,
Pick.
it's like, I mean, you got to think about it. They haven't made the top 4 in like what, 4 years, 5 years?
Washington made it last year.
Was that 4 years?
Yeah.
And Washington was what, a top,
They're top 10 right now.
Yeah, they're not
even after the loss?
No, they didn't win.
I thought they lost week 1.
Oh, they
They
lost
did.
to Auburn, but
Yeah.
even then,
It's
it wasn't-
Auburn.
Yeah, it's
I
Auburn.
mean,
Well, now doesn't that loss look worse?
yeah, a little bit.
Not really. It just depends on how you look at it. They're not. I mean, granted, Pac-12, like the teams. Some teams are not even in conference play like right now, and they lost, like Wisconsin. You know. Anyway, we can go conference by conference as well.
Sounds good to me. So, who wants to start this?
I will do so, I guess.
We're gonna do Big 12 first.
Well, I mean, I'm really sad about the Big 12 now. 'cause
Well, okay,
we had a good
wait.
shot.
Actually, hang on.
Now it's gone.
Now I have a question about that. So,
Yeah.
with the conferences, are we gonna pick the title games and the champions.
I would.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Well, no. Like, I mean, the ACC title game, Big Ten title game.
Yeah, I thought
SEC.
you were talking like bowl games. Like we'll be here all fucking.
No. I'm sorry. No.
I'm just getting on ESPN and
Conference,
reading
like
off the
conference.
projections.
I'm sorry, conference.
I'm
title
just
games.
gonna-
I
Who do you
apologize.
Who do you think's gonna make the Chick-fil-A bowl? Who gives a fuck? It's an irrelevant bowl.
I'm just gonna give like Make-A-Wish games like
Works for me.
TCU and Alabama,
Hey,
Georgia, Kansas, and
Oh God, Kansas actually won. I was
So
like, what the
on
hell?
and so
They beat Rutgers.
They
Get off of it.
First off, they beat another Power 5 conference, which is miraculous. They never win at anything except for basketball.
That's true. I'll give you that.
Last year I think they went 1-12, and the one team they beat was an FCS school. I mean, they don't win ever. They suck. So for them to beat a Power 5
So,
conference,
We'll start with
amazing.
Pac-12 then.
Sure.
Fuck. Big 12. I'm sorry.
Big
Could
12.
you fucking
The
get your shit
ACC.
together, sir?
Oh, I can't. Tired.
So we'll just go around the table here. So Colin, Zach, Steve, and then me. So Colin, give it a go.
Okay, so we're just picking who we think are going to make the conference
Big 12. The Big 12.
Big 12 title game.
Yeah.
I think it'll be
Have a
the,
title game?
Yes.
yes.
Okay, I didn't know.
Yes, we did that after we got fucked over by the
I feel like
committee.
we should-
I think it's gonna be. I still think it's gonna be TCU and Oklahoma. I don't think that's gonna change anything. I think TCU's really good. We played really well against Ohio State. So if we can play well against Ohio State, we should be good against any other Big 12 team.
Shit, I need to look up something.
Do you need to know who was in the Big 12?
No, I need to
'Cause I
know.
can tell
I got that.
No,
I can tell
need
you
to know
who it
like
is.
the sides, like who's on what side, like east and west and shit.
There's not.
Not the Big
it's
12,
just-
no,
that's not a Big
Is it
12.
just the top two?
It's the top.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, cool. I can do that.
So Colin, that was yours.
Yes.
Zach?
I'm gonna go Oklahoma and TCU. I'm not sold so much on TCU this year.
Hey,
I'm not because let's
Careful what
face
you're sitting next to.
let's face it, they didn't play well offensively in the last half of the game. Watching that game, and you're missing a swing pass that's any high school quarterback can make, and he's overthrowing a swing pass by 5 yards.
told you to make me sad.
The offense to me, I'm not sold on. Defensively, they look very, very good. So, and it's Oklahoma's offense, I think, is set to do incredible things if they can get their running backs healthy.
Well, the second coming of Baker Mayfield's on that team now. By the way,
Don't get your twitches going there, bro.
by the way, just real quick before we move on, we were supposed to have a home and home with Ohio State, and they canceled the second game, I guess.
What?
They canceled the other Ohio State.
TCU.
They said it during the broadcast, I heard it, that they canceled the second one.
Oh, look at me.
This is bullshit. I'm
I
ready to go.
was disappointed. I mean, I'm going to get to go see TCU versus Purdue next year, but I was disappointed.
To what you had said about TCU's defense being good, I would like to add to that I would agree with that because I believe 3 of the Ohio State scores were special teams related.
Mm-hmm.
It was not an easy night offensively for Ohio State. Haskins still looked really good. That's,
His feet are incredible.
that's probably the greatest quarterback thus far that we've had
Knock on wood.
in a while.
Yeah, well,
JT
that's
Barrett
right.
was abysmal. Cardell Jones had that one tiny hot streak, but it was at the right time.
Yeah.
It was at the
All
right
matters
time.
when you get hot.
Terrell Pryor was mediocre as a quarterback. We haven't had a long history of success at quarterback position.
Oh, by the way, just breaking news: the Jaguars beat the Patriots. So, sorry. He just showed it to me, so I thought it was.
I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was sitting
I
here
wasn't
minding my
either.
own damn business.
I
By the way, Andy Dalton, that motherfucker has been on fire the past.
Okay,
2
wait.
years. We had to talk about. We're talking about
time
TCU,
out.
so.
Let's get back to college, please.
Had to bring up with TCU.
Squirrel.
Zach, did you make all of your points you need to make?
For that one, for Big 12, yes.
Steven.
Big 12, I'm going to go a little bit off course with a little bit with it. I'm actually going to say TCU and West Virginia.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
You don't think Oklahoma's gonna make it?
I think they're going to run into some major problems with TCU, West Virginia, and OK State.
God, I hope.
Oh, thank you. Oh God, I hope so too.
Granted,
Because I think we can beat West Virginia.
I honestly think TCU's defense can stop Oklahoma's. They can probably contain their quarterback. I can't remember his name off the top of my head.
We did.
Is it Kelly? No, it's like Clemson.
Yeah, I'm not sure who. I can't remember his name. It's
Oh, they
he's
have-
from Hawaii.
Clemson has 2 quarterbacks also that are
Yeah.
really good.
Don't get me started on that.
God,
Yeah,
boy.
they're both good.
What else for that team?
And Will Greer being
That's good.
is very, very good. He's got a high-powered offense behind him that I believe, everybody returned for this year.
I think all but 3.
All but 3. And Will Greer and them gave Oklahoma a handful last year. I still think it'll be TCU and West Virginia.
I mean, TCU's defense, or TCU's always been prided on their defense anyways.
Well, yeah, you look
And
at Gary Patterson. He's
He's
a
an
coach.
amazing coach. We, up until the third quarter, we held Ohio State in check.
Yeah.
Their running game, their passing game was held pretty much in check for a college football team.
Right.
Because we always know that in college, it becomes Madden levels of freaking
Stupidity.
yards
Yeah.
and everything. So for us, we held them in check. Then the mistakes on offense, you can't really blame the defense for that. A lot of the points were scored by offensive mistakes. And then the defense was on the field too much at the very end. But yeah, TCU's defense is phenomenal. If we can shore up our offense, I think we'll be fine. Which I think comes with time with our quarterback. Most of our wide receivers and running backs have been there for a year or two, and they're set in their ways. So we just got to get our quarterback under control. Should be fine.
I'm gonna go with an Oklahoma State.
Wow. Oklahoma State's not bad.
I'm scared to pick TCU because it seems after they get that first loss, they'll go on this streak of they'll knock out a couple of games, and then they get tripped up mid to late season. And if you're going to lose in college, you want to do it early. You don't want to lose late, and I feel that's one of the things that does hurt TCU.
Kills the mode.
Is they get late in the season, they get these incredible hot streaks, and it's overshadowed by maybe a 1 or 2 point loss that I don't think should be that big of a penalization on.
Yeah.
But
Well, I'm telling you from experience, TCU can't overlook some of these smaller schools like Kansas State. Oklahoma State isn't as good as they were in the last 2 years.
Still high powered though. Man.
Oh yeah, and that's the thing. I
Texas Tech.
Ohio State was high powered, but all the Big 12 is to spread them out. Let's throw the hell out of the football.
Yeah.
And it's going to stay hot down there. It is going to stay hot in Texas, in the Oklahoma region, midway through November.
Yeah.
So, those guys were cramping up so bad last night because they were
Ohio State players were falling down
my
like
God.
flies, man.
So I would be very careful with TCU because they have Oklahoma, South Texas, Oklahoma State.
We have everybody in the conference. We haven't played a conference game yet.
Yeah, so you have a very small window that you can miss by.
Right.
And that's the bad thing because you guys don't play anybody weak this year, really.
No, there's always in every conference there's at least 1 or 2 weak opponents. Kansas, Baylor, I think has fallen apart.
Iowa State.
Iowa State was good last year though.
But their quarterback is gone.
Yeah.
I know, but I'm just saying.
No. Like I'm saying this year, like the quarterback that beat Oklahoma,
Yeah,
like
Gone.
he's gone. Yeah, Iowa
Well,
State.
He's not gone, but he hurt his leg.
Yeah. He's hurt.
Yeah, he hurt his leg.
The biggest thing with TCU is they're completely different, I feel like, than anybody else in that conference, in that they are more defensive minded than offensive minded. Like the other 9 teams, they want to, like Zach said, spread it out, air it out, throw it all the time. TCU's more of a run first team with good offensive weapons for passing. But they focus so much on making their defense so much better than everybody else's. Their defense, I think, most years are top 5 defenses. They've got they can hold up with SEC defenses.
Unless you're Notre Dame, no offense.
Yeah.
No offense.
I was like, they can hold up with SEC caliber defenses, and that's completely different than what anybody else does. Unfortunately, you have to score points on offense. That's where we struggle at. And hopefully, like I said, our quarterback gets back on pace. But we're different than anybody else in the Big 12. I feel like in that respect.
So that's safe to wrap up the Big 12.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'll talk about TCU all night.
Let's go move on to the Big 10 next.
Why?
Are we doing the Midwest first? I mean,
That's fine.
Might as well.
That's fine.
Okay, now I have to look up.
Well, fine. We'll go this way then.
Yeah,
Works for me.
I just gotta look up divisions.
Out of the East,
Ooh, Broncos beat the Raiders.
I think it's going to still be Ohio State that comes out of the East. You could make an argument for Penn State. I think that's probably the second most talented team in the East for the Big Ten. I'm not a believer in Michigan, and that's
Nobody is.
that's Ohio State
Nope.
loyalty aside.
I don't,
Indiana's still sitting 3-0.
Who they playing?
Virginia, FIU, they just beat Ball State yesterday.
But I mean, as we get older in the season, I think it's eventually going.
That's better than 0-3 for Purdue.
I think they're on a collision course for Ohio State and Penn State there. Out of the West, I think it's going to end up being. I still think it's going to be Wisconsin.
Onwards.
yeah.
I mean, they did stumble this week, but maybe that was good. Maybe that was a reality check that they needed. And I mean, sometimes that's exactly what you need as a team, is to lose early and then get refocused and reevaluated, and then, as you said, move forward. But I think your Big Ten title game is going to be Ohio State versus Wisconsin for what, the third year in a row? No,
Second.
second. Yeah, because there's a hiccup between.
Yeah.
So that last 3 out of 4 years has been.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with Wisconsin and Ohio State. Steve?
I'll agree with you, but I still feel like there's going to be a hiccup in there. And the hiccup, I think, is going to be Iowa. Iowa has always been a tough team to beat, regardless if you're home or away. They've got at least 3 or 4 future NFL players on that team who will make a major impact. I think if they can get past Iowa, they will be okay. Penn State kind of scares me just because of the Appalachian State game when they went into double overtime and took them, because Appalachian State's an FCS school, so you should be able to manhandle those usually unless you're Michigan.
No. App State's no FBS, man.
FCS.
No.
They changed.
They moved.
Are
moved
they
up.
D1
They're
now?
Conference USA.
Yeah. They're
Okay,
D1 now.
so, but even then,
They're not a Power 5.
yeah, they're not a Power 5.
And App State beat Michigan a couple years ago.
Yeah,
I'm sure Scott remembers that.
Yeah, no kidding.
Great joy for him.
Yay.
So, but yeah, I mean, I'd still say Ohio State, Wisconsin.
Zach?
Oh, God. I'm going to start in the West. And I'm going to side with Steven with most of that with Wisconsin. They've got to get through Iowa. I think they
Well, yeah, because I didn't pick Wisconsin either.
I'm using the argument that Steven used. I'm not convinced offensively they can hold up with Iowa. I don't think Hornibrook is the answer. I don't think he's that good of a quarterback.
He's his real quarterback name. Don't even start.
Who was the quarterback that lost name? Fuck.
Hornibrook. No, it's not.
Was it
No. He's
IU?
a tight end.
Tight
It was
end?
a tight end from
Tight end.
IU.
Fuck.
Yeah, but it was spelled differently. It was like
FUA or
FUQE.
No, it was FUCHS. Fuck.
Yeah, that's right. That's it.
Um,
It's the greatest name ever.
I still think there's some good schools like Minnesota, maybe. Nebraska sucks.
well, they lost their quarterback.
Yeah. So.
You don't feel very good about picking Purdue?
Fuck.
Purdue high. Purdue's gonna be so great this year.
But yeah, I think the biggest game is going to be the Wisconsin-Iowa game, and I'm gonna go with Penn State out of the East. I think they survive the gauntlet that they're gonna play. Because let's look at their gauntlet, because they play Michigan State, Ohio State, and then Michigan
Back to back.
back to back.
Yeah.
So, and Ohio State's gonna have to run that same gauntlet.
I was gonna say.
Michigan State to me is null and void in that conference. Michigan is too. The McCaffrey kid from Michigan looks a whole hell of a lot better than the kid that they got from Ole Miss. Just from watching the last half of that Notre Dame Michigan game. But I'm going to go with Penn State and Wisconsin.
Okay.
Um, I'll agree with you, but I still feel like there's going to be a hiccup in there.
Wisconsin.
I still feel like there's going to be a hiccup in there.
Wisconsin. I don't really follow Big Ten as much. I'm kind of wrapped up in my own thing, but I'm gonna go ahead. OSU. I think Ohio State is one of the best teams in college football. Unfortunately,
It hurts you
for
to say
me,
that.
yeah, it really does. But I'm gonna go. Actually, I'm gonna go out on a limb here. I'm gonna pick Ohio State to win the East. I think that's obvious. But I'm not going with Wisconsin in the West. I'm actually gonna go with Iowa.
It's fair.
I mean, it's not too much out on a limb, but I think based on what they did to Ohio State last year, they beat them like
Yeah.
55 to like, what was it? I don't know. You would know the score. They destroyed them
What-
last year.
what-
Iowa and Ohio State.
Oh yeah, it wasn't great.
I know Iowa scored 55. It was a
Yeah.
bad game.
No, I got you.
So, yeah.
Thank you, JT Barrett, for everything you've done.
They still talk about
He's
him
a
like he's a good player.
Piece of shit.
I wouldn't look at me. I'm just.
Does he even have a team in the NFL?
Who, JT Barrett?
Yeah.
Wasn't he drafted by the Saints and cut?
Yeah, for Teddy Bridgewater.
They got a good quarterback.
A good backup. Where are we going now?
Let's go. We'll go.
I was gonna say ACC.
Well, yeah, we've got all
figured,
those.
I figured we'll save the SEC for the last.
Who gives a shit?
Nobody likes the SEC.
I do.
You said ACC.
Get the
Yeah.
fuck out of here.
All right, Zach, that's your conference. Lead it off.
The SEC?
The ACC.
ACC.
bro.
Well, the ACC is not really my conference. But
It's only a
Notre-
conference in basketball,
Yeah, he's got a point. Notre Dame is not in the ACC in
football, because we're fucking. Look,
Scott, don't ask.
Look,
for
I-
God's sakes, don't ask.
I've bitched about this
There
for
is-
5 years.
Hang on. There is a contract with Notre Dame and the ACC that they have to schedule 5 ACC games, but yet
So why not play the fucking ACC?
They also schedule like 4 Pac-12 teams, and it's
Two.
because
timeout.
Two.
Those 2 Pac-12 games that we play each year, they're rivalry games.
look,
Then why should the Pac-12?
look, hold on.
Stanford and USC.
Here's the thing. You could easily be in the ACC and schedule 2 of your 3 non-conference opponents to be USC.
Do they get a top
Time
And
out.
the other team.
they're
Again, let me
independent.
tell you why Notre Dame does it the way they do it.
Because they're pieces of shit and they don't want to be a part of the rest of us.
No, because they have the greatest rivals in the sport.
That's fine.
Michigan,
Who cares about them?
Purdue,
They suck.
How's that a rivalry? You always win.
That's what you're going to say. Purdue sucks.
Boston College.
They're actually ranked this year. Shockingly.
Um,
I looked it up. They're 23rd.
Florida State, Miami, not so big.
Yeah, but you can play them in the ACC.
But what I'm saying is
Florida
you're going to
Florida State's ACC.
yes.
No, I got that part, but when the hell were they a rival with fucking Notre Dame?
We've played them in championships before.
The 2 seasons they were relevant.
Oh, all these rivals, you guys sound more like bullies than.
I don't know. USC and Stanford are good teams.
Yeah,
You know, normally this year.
some of these
I mean,
teams aren't bad. Like
the Pac-12's been
All right.
kind of
Well,
shit fest.
with that aside, how many ACC?
14.
Get rid of independence.
No, 16.
that's stupid.
All right.
Fuck independence. Hey, BYU's an independent. I insulted that team.
That's
All
too.
right,
fine.
start in the Atlantic.
14.
I've got Clemson winning that one, hands down.
I mean, there's-
Can we save some time? Does anybody else agree? Anybody but Clemson's winning that
I
one?
mean, Clemson's gonna win it.
Okay.
It's not even an argument.
Okay, keep going, Zach.
I'm not convinced Miami's going to win in the Coastal. Honestly, I think it's going to be Virginia Tech.
See, goddamn it, I was gonna sound so special when I said Virginia Tech. But
Why? I was going to say it too.
Well, but if I went first, then I'd sound better.
It's Zach's go. Will you let the man speak?
Are you done?
Go
Um, Duke could have a very good year, honestly. The teams that are out, I think, in my opinion, as of now, UVA, UNC, Georgia Tech.
Duke sucks.
I actually was going to pick Duke.
Again, they're 3-0.
Get out!
Wait, he lives here.
I was going to pick Duke.
Get out! You're not welcomed on the podcast anymore.
Really? 0-2?
I don't care! It's puke for all I care.
You call him puke. Could you come up with a more creative insult for a college, please?
Rapists.
That's Baylor.
And Duke.
And Penn State.
Well, no.
And Michigan State.
Yes.
Okay, no, sorry.
Let's move back on.
I'm sorry.
It's getting depressing now.
I'm done.
He's got Vatek and Clemson.
Yeah.
So we can see Zach. Hi, everybody.
Oh my
Hi. Let
Now
there
it's
be
great.
light.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's all I've got for mine. That's it's pretty simple.
I'm not denying that.
Anyway, is my turn now?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay, so I already picked Clemson. Fuck. I mean, Vatek's probably the team. Duke sucks at football, so I'm sure they're gonna start sucking here eventually.
Yeah, they were relevant like 3 years ago.
Ooh.
Where are they?
What?
Baylor, North.
They were.
What'd you say?
They were.
Ugh.
As much as I hated, they were.
God. Vomit. Anyway.
So I took Duke. You took Virginia Tech.
Vatek.
That was quick. I like how we talked the most about the Big 12.
Let's just get him out of the way now.
Who?
SEC.
Shitville.
Nah.
No.
Let's do them last.
Fine, we'll do the American, the
Pac-12, we ain't doing no fucking
UCF.
Oh, you mean
They're-
the national champions?
They're not the top 5. They're not a
They're
power
not in the
5.
Power 5 conference. That's why they didn't go.
This is bullshit.
I know, that's why they're the national champions, but, you know, only until...
I mean, I'll say this much. I'm glad that we didn't have to play them last week because it really wouldn't have been that much of a game.
All right, what are we talking about? Which conference next?
Pac-12.
Yeah, because
Pac-12.
UCF would have destroyed you. UCF is... Well, they're defending national champs.
All right, Steven, you can lead this one off.
We will never allow Alabama to be the national champs.
Oh my god.
So, yeah.
Fuck that.
I think in the North, I'm going to say Washington.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Washington's got a high-powered offense. Their defense is magnificent, regardless of what happened against Auburn. But the Pac-12, I feel like overall has kind of went downhill a little bit. I mean, you're still going to have your well-known teams like Washington, Stanford, Oregon, and USC. The only reason why I feel like UCLA is relevant is because of who their coach is, and he's done so well this year. Sorry. Not sorry. So out of the North, I still say Washington. Out of the South, I'm going to go with the two people.
The two people?
One of two. Either being Arizona or USC.
USC's 1 and 2. They suck.
Doesn't mean
Moving along. Alright.
Doesn't mean anything.
Oh, God. They're going to lose to Notre Dame and then be irrelevant again. Who's next?
Got it.
You know what? Out of the North, I'm really afraid to make this pick.
If you say Stanford because of Christian McCaffrey, I swear to Jeeves.
You mean Mr. McCaffrey? You put some respect on his name.
He didn't fumble your ball
He
today.
didn't fumble my ball today.
Oh, fucking God.
Put some respect on that man's name.
Oh, my God.
I'm gonna pick Oregon to win the North. I know.
Jesus.
I know.
I'm going over here. He's clearly fucking sick.
I'm gonna pick Oregon.
My power offense.
Out of the South, I'm gonna pick Colorado.
What the fuck? Why is it whenever I want a good fuck, I want to pick something crazy that everybody's
I'm
like,
gonna take
oh.
Colorado.
Oh my God.
I'll take Colorado.
Well, the only good team over there.
What the fuck do you mean? You obviously don't watch the Pac-12.
No,
I
it's like-
watched him play against Washington last night, and it was fucking atrocious.
Who are we talking about?
Don't let me say that.
What?
Zach, go ahead. That's all I had. Now shit on Colin.
I was like, what team are we talking about here?
Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Oh, and you're going to tell me SC's better than them?
Yeah,
You're
he's
going to
Yes.
tell me that? No, they're not.
Yes.
The
Wait.
fuck, no, they're not.
USC sucks.
I'm
one,
going
two.
to go with Stanford and Utah.
I knew he was gonna pick Utah.
What
See?
a fucking surprise.
I knew.
Told you.
I've,
Like, go ahead.
I
go ahead.
forgot he has a sweatshirt.
Go ahead.
Well, I don't think Arizona 8 can't fucking decide, their quarterback can't decide if Do I want to play or am I too depressed to play the game?
All right, dude.
Wow, we're getting deep.
Damn.
Well, that's the truth. I mean, the fucker can't complete a pass. You're
Neither did
having-
JT Barrett, but we kept him.
It's because you had Ezekiel Elliott.
But you also have a quarterback that's very well capable behind him that can play. Arizona State,
They're not terrible.
they're not terrible.
But
Serviceable would be a good word.
But they did
okay last
they
year.
beat Michigan State.
Yeah, Colorado. I haven't seen them play yet this year, so I can't really.
He's gonna stab you. I hope you know that.
I mean,
What?
Looking at points for, they've scored the third most in the conference, and they don't allow a lot of points. So, I mean, just based on points I'm seeing.
But I think yesterday was a hiccup for Utah. They've got a pretty. They're playing Washington. They weren't even ranked in this game.
You couldn't complete a pass to the tight end
It's not my fault they can't catch
in
the
the end zone. The dude is the tallest receiver on the field, and you have to throw it over his head.
Preach, Steven.
Wait,
I'm a big Utah fan too. Well, I was ish.
I mean, how are you a big anything?
he's a little big.
Fuck you all. Anyway, I'll be saying, big tight end.
Phrasing.
Are you sure that Drew Brees today? Because that's kind of what happened to Drew Brees today.
This is true too.
In fairness, Drew Brees got beat by the Buccaneers, so
But yeah, I'm gonna
They're
go
not
with,
a fluke, actually.
not anymore. He's good now.
Continue. I'm
But
sorry.
yeah, I'm gonna go with Stanford and Utah.
It's fair. Colin, now that I've accidentally picked your pick, he's gonna say something stupid like fucking UCLA.
Fuck yeah, go Bruins! No, Stanford, Colorado.
No.
I'm gonna go Stanford, Colorado. Again, I haven't watched the Pac-12 all that much, so I don't really know. I just
What?
What? Why do you interrupt everybody?
I was just saying because they come on at like 10:30 at night.
I work nights.
I know, that's why I said he hasn't watched them very.
Well, I don't watch any college. I watch TCU, and that's basically it, because that's all I have time for.
You should set it up on your phone where you can watch the games while you work.
While I sleep?
No, at work. At work.
No.
You sit up in the aisle and just like listen.
I got shit to do.
You can listen to it while you work.
I got shit to do.
Then you'd be able to pick better teams.
I picked the same team you did.
No,
Fuck
didn't.
you.
You picked Stanford.
Well, who'd you pick? You picked Oregon.
Oregon.
Captain Fluke. Oh, that team fucking every year, they're like, oh, we're really good until, like, when it's important.
Oh yeah, well, when's the last time you've been to a national title game and lost?
Oregon? Every
Stanford.
time. I was going to say, Oregon every fucking time. They go to the national title game and they lose.
No.
Well,
Jesus.
I'm trying to think of that now.
The answer is they haven't.
Good deal.
Oregon ain't fucking making it, please. Fuck out of here. They'll lose an important game somewhere. Anywho, I'm out.
So
SEC. We can go Independence and see how they do.
well, it's going to be Notre Dame out of Independence.
Well, they don't even have a conference officially. They don't.
So SEC East.
Choose carefully, Scott.
You know, I'm gonna do Mom proud.
Oh, god damn it!
I'm gonna pick the Homer pick.
You're gonna pick somebody.
I'm gonna pick Kentucky.
God fucking damn it! Every fucking time. You're done going first.
I'm gonna take Kentucky. You heard it here first. Kentucky, not Georgia. Great team, excellent team, great school. Not Florida, not undefeated Missouri.
Can we
I'm gonna
not
take
speak of
Kentucky.
Missouri?
Every fucking time. What? Because Missouri
Why?
beat
Because they
Purdue.
won last night.
I'll
beat
explain
Purdue,
that
didn't they?
story later. I'll explain the story later.
What? The Purdue sucks.
No, I'll explain the story later.
We all knew this.
I'm gonna take Kentucky out of the. Oh Jesus.
Oh, just say it.
LSU.
Yay! Fuck Alabama. Go to hell, Saban.
Nope.
It's where you
I'm
were
taking
born
LSU.
anyways.
I'm taking the Tigers. And if that doesn't work, I'm gonna take MS State. Then if they don't pan out, I want me some. I don't want any. I want Arkansas. I want Auburn and Mississippi. And if all those
Scott,
don't, if
Scott,
all those
why
don't
don't
work
you say
out,
anybody with Bama?
and Texas A&M.
Oh, okay. Wait, why do you
We're just everybody
what?
Eventual.
on the face of the
Oh,
planet
fair enough.
except for Alabama fans wants Alabama to fucking suck, and I hope it happens.
I'm sorry, when they play a legitimate schedule that isn't fucking 90% cupcake games.
Yeah, especially right before big rivalry games at the end of the fucking
Yeah.
season, like they shouldn't be doing.
When you play a fucking actual schedule, then we'll talk.
Yeah.
But until then, fuck them. I want the Tigers. Steven?
I want the Tigers.
Anyway, so out of the East, I'm picking Georgia. Shocker, I know.
Oh my fucking god! It's because you got a Chubb for Chubb.
I
You don't even play there anymore.
don't give a damn. No.
He's gonna hold the torch.
No, they got a new running back this year.
Is his name Chubb?
No, his
His
name
name Dick?
No, his name is Elijah.
Longbottom?
No, it's Elijah Holyfield.
Holyfield. Is he related to the other Holyfield?
Vander, yes, that's his son.
Oh, hey, look.
Yes, that is his son.
Fuck.
Jake Fromm, fantastic quarterback. They got I can't remember his first name, but Shields, the #1 overall rated top 300 player, is actually at Georgia. He's the backup to Jake Fromm.
So he's not going to play.
No, he
It's
is.
not-
So he's irrelevant.
No, he is.
Good job, buddy.
No, their defense.
The backup quarterback is really good.
He is. And I'm actually going to agree with Scott, and I'm actually going to say LSU. I don't think Alabama.
Woo, go Tigers!
I don't think Alabama beats LSU, and I don't think they beat Auburn this year. I think Alabama will be on the outside looking in. Yes, I understand.
And
our
they're
rating.
still going to make the
Yeah,
playoffs.
well,
With 2 losses.
Yep.
Even though they didn't make the fucking conference finals.
Um,
Fucking pieces of shit.
I will say this though. I will give
Rigged.
I will give you some props on Kentucky, because this is the first year that they have beaten Florida. I think in over
30 years.
30 years.
It's like
31
1988.
years. Okay, sorry. So I think that they're actually on the up and coming, but I don't think they will be. I don't want to say relevant. I mean, with the
I love
likes-
you, Mom.
I
I
love
think
you.
they'll
Steven doesn't.
I think they'll be ranked.
I think they'll be ranked, but I don't think they'll be in like
I
top
think
10.
they'll be ranked.
I don't think they'll be top.
Speaking of ranking, after this, you're not going to be ranked with your own mother.
What else is new?
Zach.
I'm gonna go Georgia in the East.
Fair pick.
Florida's still rebuilding a little bit. South Carolina sucks. Tennessee still sucks. Kentucky, I'm still not sold on because they haven't played anybody yet. Missouri, great, they're 3-0. They played Purdue. Congratulations, you beat them.
On a last second field goal.
You beat a cupcake stool.
Shit. But I'm going to make the less stupid pick, I think, out of this, and I'm going to go with Alabama and UGA.
You're out.
Just simply because Alabama is going to rotate both the schedules, because that sucks.
He's definitely going to beat by the Tigers.
Here's the thing, though. Ed Orgeron's a great coach. Love LSU, really do. However, you don't have the experience that Nick Saban has.
You mean
coaching.
Satan? Lucifer?
He's not wrong.
Voldemort?
Wait. Oh, that's right. I was wondering what cupcake fucking team they were going to play before they got their asses beat by Auburn. They're playing the fucking Citadel. Where's that at, everybody? Oh, that's right. Nobody fucking knows because it's not a real fucking
Who
school.
did they play
It's in
last year?
Louisiana.
They played
I think it was a Citadel.
No, it wasn't the Citadel.
No, that we all fucking lost our shit on.
Tulane.
No, Tulane's an FBS
Keep
school,
going, I'm
at
going to
least.
look this bitch up.
It's a fucking shit school that doesn't exist.
Don't worry, I'm on it.
They just hire high schools to
Was
come
it
out there and get their
Chattanooga?
ass.
No. Keep going, I'll find it.
I don't remember where. Okay. Well, in the East for the SEC, he fucking stole my.
Even though Zach
Every
wasn't
fucking
done.
time.
Hey, you cut Zach off, you fuck.
Oh, I didn't realize he was done.
Go ahead. I'm
No,
done.
no, no.
I'm done. Go.
You go.
I'm done. Go.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought you were done. Picking your lame Saban pick.
Okay, then you tell me. I will put money down that LSU gets beat because they
I'll put
do.
money down. It's wishful thinking.
Oh, I know.
Oh, okay, my
Go
bad.
ahead, go.
My bad.
Who's the team?
Fucking Mercer.
That's it. Fucking Mercer! The team that got disbanded
Disbanded.
4 different times, I think. Fuck that school. Well, actually, Mercer's a good school. They just got robbed by a terrible team. I'm going to go Kentucky and LSU. Mainly because I hate Alabama. And I want to change things up a bit. And Kentucky's looked pretty good so far this year. So, by the way, Vanderbilt's 2-1.
It's also worth
Shocking.
mentioning, last year, Alabama, while it was a shutout, only beat LSU 10-0.
Yeah, and I think LSU's better this year than they were last year.
When you have Darius Juice or guys that
Guys is
Guys.
gone. He's gone.
And
He's
is
gone forever,
Is
literally.
Alabama still arguing over the 2 quarterbacks?
No, I think they
No,
picked
it's Tuska.
Tagaloo.
Tagaloo, yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
not-
that guy.
It's
not the guy from.
It's
It's not
Jalen.
Hurst or whatever. he
Hurts.
is. Hurts. Yeah, from
No,
last year.
Jalen basically quit.
Yeah, he quit.
Not really quit, but like
It's like fuck.
He's not planning to preserve his to be able to redshirt.
Yeah.
So, playoffs?
Ooh.
But you have to go with who wins what conference first. Because we just picked teams that
Yeah.
were into the championship
Okay,
game.
well we'll just do one person and then we'll each give. So I'm gonna go out of the Big Ten, Ohio State. SEC will be LSU. Pac-12, Oregon. Big 12, Oklahoma. I need to get the taste of that out of my mouth.
That's hilarious. Anyway, you got one more. SEC. Oh no, ACC. We picked Clemson, and I don't know who the other fucking team was.
Yeah, I'm gonna take.
Yeah.
I wanted to say Duke, but I couldn't do Duke.
You'd be wrong.
It's Clemson. Steven, go ahead, buddy.
Big Ten, I'm taking Ohio State.
Boo.
SEC taking Georgia.
Seriously.
Pac-12, I'm gonna take Washington. Big 12, I'm taking TCU.
College Chuck showing.
Well, we're fucked. Steven picked us. We're going 3-8. Yeah.
ACC.
You're struggling with ACC? God, pick Duke. I'd fucking pick Duke.
ACC. No.
Let's go, Coach K.
That's basketball, you dumb nut.
I know, but it's just, you can't think of Duke without thinking of Coach K.
I'm
And
gonna
against
go
lacrosse.
with Dallas Sweeney, Clemson.
Clemson. Well, no shit.
I still think Vontae's gonna give him a hell of a game. Okay, first of all, 3 years ago, North Carolina made the ACC title game, and
That's
we
one.
almost beat them.
That's one in a row.
It's one that I
First and last time.
got. Okay.
Wait, did he pick all of us?
Yeah.
So in the Pac-12, I'm going to go with Stanford. Big 12. I'm going to go with TCU.
Holy fucking fuck!
God.
Oh, I'm gonna have a heart attack / stroke.
Big 10. I'm going to go Penn State.
Boo. Pick a real school.
We didn't pick Ohio State to even make it to the conference championship game, so.
ACC Clemson. I'm gonna get booed for saying this, but Alabama's
Boo!
Hey!
Start throwing shit at him. It's like the old WCW days where you throw trash when you didn't like what the fucking inning was.
They do that now, but it's when Roman comes out.
No, they just play with fucking
Beach
beach
balls.
balls and don't pay attention. I mean, Big 12, I gotta go TCU. I mean, it's only fitting I pick my own team. So, Pac-12. God, I really want to go like crazy out on a limb with this one.
Do it.
Fuck it, I'm gonna go Colorado. Just for shits and giggles, I'm gonna go Colorado. Why not?
Worst thing that happens is you're wrong.
Exactly. It's not like I'm betting on this, and if they win, that'd be fucking astounding.
We'd sit there and say you predicted the future.
Shit, that'd be amazing. Big Ten.
I didn't mean to.
You watched. Stop paying attention to shit you shouldn't be paying attention to.
I didn't mean to. I pulled up on something on my Facebook, so I had a.
He's ruining the pay-per-view for us.
I didn't say anything about any pay-per-view or nothing. Keep going.
Anyway, Big Ten is. I really don't want to say Ohio State, but I'm going to go ahead and say Ohio State. ACC Clemson, that's obvious. SEC, I'm going to go LSU. Say LSU. And then Alabama will be one of the Final Four because, it's rigged.
Alright, so Final Four and the winner.
Final Four. That was awful fucking aggressive over there. You want me to go 1 through 4 or just pick 4 at random?
Just pick your 4.
Ohio State, Clemson, LSU, and then fucking Alabama, because of course they're going to get in. They don't have to make the conference championship. They don't have to play good teams. They're Alabama. They get in because, Saban says they get in. I'm sure they paid plenty of money to get in. Fucking pieces of shit.
Zach? Well, who wins? I'm sorry, who wins the national championship?
A good team. LSU. I'll pick LSU.
My 4 are going to be Clemson, Penn State, Alabama. Ooh.
Last one's difficult.
I'm not sure if I need to throw the Pac-12 in or you put the Big 12 in. That's the difficulty of this.
Hey Zach. I'm going to tell you right now, if TCU wins the Big 12 championship, Big 12 ain't getting in. Because they don't allow little schools that could beat the bigger schools in. So, you pick TCU, so they're not. That's why I didn't pick TCU to go out of the Final Four.
I'm waffling. I think it's going to be TCU that makes the 4th.
You will hear screams of joy and tears coming from my apartment.
Unfortunately, they don't beat Clemson.
Well, that's not.
It's going to be Clemson, Alabama.
Oh my fucking god! Again.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And Clemson wins.
Then at least there's a good thing.
Top 4 for myself. Number 1 is Georgia.
Duke.
Number two is Ohio State.
Yeah!
Number 3 is Clemson.
Okay.
And number 4 is probably Washington. Georgia beats Washington. Ohio State beats Clemson. And Georgia.
Coming home, Grandma.
Georgia beats Ohio State.
Of course. You are very much aware that Georgia teams don't win championships, right? Like none of them.
There was a Super Bowl where they were up.
There was a championship game played earlier this year. Granted UCF won it all, but that was the fake one they wanted you to believe in.
My 4 are going to be LSU, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Oregon.
Oh my fucking god. Oregon is not making it anywhere.
I'm waiting for the lightning bolt.
They're going to lose by 70 in the fucking title game. Any title game.
And I'm going Ohio State to win the national
Of course you fucking are. What a fucking surprise.
Name me a quarterback that's looked better over the course of this first 3 weeks.
TJ Lawrence out of Clemson.
Ha! Bitch. Don't you say the fucking
Trace McSorley.
Never heard of her.
Will Greer.
Never heard of her.
Yes, you did. We said it earlier.
Never
Fuck
heard of her.
face.
Wasn't listening. It's Ohio State.
You're not winning.
That's my goddamn picks. If I want to pick the man in the moon wins the national championship.
I pick UCF. They're gonna go back to back.
So, man, really?
There was for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Back in '69.
Well, yeah, but not like today.
No, I don't.
No, cool. Anybody think anybody playing spoiler?
Colorado.
I think Mississippi State could actually do that. Mississippi State's in the prime position to really fuck with some people if they can stay healthy and stay consistent with Nick Fitzgerald.
I'm gonna say Minnesota could play spoiler.
I think Iowa, actually.
Yeah, but Iowa's somebody we already contended as being a contender.
Stop looking at results.
I did it. It just don't touch my phone.
I'm gonna throw your phone across the fucking room. You better not have ruined certain fucking games or certain fucking matches.
I'm not. No.
Spoiler, I think Texas Tech could do some damage, and I also think Texas A&M could do some damage. I know you don't like Texas A&M,
There's
but
only one good thing came out of Texas A&M.
The
Dak
end.
Prescott?
The end.
Mike Evans.
I was gonna say, getting ready to say the end of Manziel's career. I was about to say you
Dak
can't
Prescott
him.
went to Mississippi State. Mississippi State.
You tried.
That's right.
It's worth a shot, though.
You did better than Machine Gun Kelly.
I haven't even listened to any of that shit.
You need to listen to that
I
song.
don't listen to rap though.
That's not rap. That's a verbal assassination of somebody's life.
Well, I don't know who the fuck Machine Gun Kelly is, but
Good.
apparently he got fucking owned by Eminem. And
There's a very simple rule in life and in rap. You don't talk shit to Eminem, and you do not bring up the man's daughter. All right? He murdered Mariah Carey, Ja Rule,
Nick Cannon.
Benzino.
Danica Patrick. He got Danica Patrick too. It's fantastic.
He did say something positive about Taylor Swift in the song.
Well, of course, because Taylor Swift is amazing.
I'm surprised you didn't go to the concert yesterday.
What concert did you watch?
She was in Indy.
Dude, I got shit to do. I ain't got time for the concert.
No, well, but that song was. I've listened to it probably like 8 times. It just gets better each. Dude, Machine Gun Kelly sucks so bad.
I know who Eminem is. I don't know who the fuck Machine Gun Kelly is. So apparently he sucks. Okay, I had 2 things before I assume we're gonna end the podcast. So
Yeah, we got a pay per view to get caught up on.
yeah. All right. So 2 things before we go.
I need to get food. I'm hungry.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. So first things first. As everybody knows, I'm a big racing fan.
No.
Huge racing fan. Aha. Well, I was going to bring up the fact that Brad won 3 in a row. That's great. But actually, there's more on a sad note. I was watching, we've had a couple weeks, so I haven't been able to actually say this on the podcast, but I was watching a race in Pennsylvania, an IndyCar race, and they had a pretty massive wreck. And one of the drivers, Robert Wickens, had pretty severe injuries. He broke both his hands, both of his legs, and he has fractures in his spinal cord, in his back. So
He is alive, right?
he's good.
Okay.
He's alive and stable, but he obviously has missed the rest of the year.
That's why you don't
So-
rush the Pocono.
I wish him and his family the best. Obviously, racing is a very dangerous sport, and hopefully gets better soon and is back next year. And secondly, all the people that are dealing with the hurricane down in Carolinas, we hope everybody's doing okay. So that's all I got to say about that. So
I'll end this on a happy note. Next weekend, we do have a little special podcast deal going on. Next weekend, we have Nikki Campbell, who will be joining us. We will be actually at Infinity Pro Grand Tournament 2 when we're going to be interviewing Nikki prior to the show. So it'll be really good to get caught up with her and see the action that they have there. It's a great card. Probably some of the best independent wrestling you're going to see in the state. It's,
They get someone to replace Corey Storm.
I believe there's some special announcement about that.
Fair enough.
But it's a loaded card from top to bottom. You're not going to find a bad match on the card. Donnie has done a phenomenal job of piecing together probably the perfect set of guys for this roster. So if you are free next Sunday, come out to Lafayette Theater and come watch probably one of the best professional wrestling companies that you can watch. So on that, I mean, are we good to wrap it up? And,
Yeah, I'm good.
all right,
I'm good.
well, guys, for the Four Corners podcast, I'm Scott,
I'm Steven.
I'm Zach.
I'm calling.
and we'll see you guys next week.
Deuces.